You wake up, same ceiling, same weight pressing on your chest, same voice in your head telling you that you're not enough, that you're failing, that everything is falling apart. And maybe it is, but what if I told you that's exactly where your power begins? The ancient Stoics had a word for what you're feeling right now. They called it pathy, the storm inside you, the chaos, the breaking point. But here's what they understood that we've forgotten. Your life isn't broken because of what happened to you. It's broken because of what you believe about what happened to you. Every morning you're building a prison, brick by brick, thought by thought, and you don't even realize you're the architect. The Stoics didn't live in some peaceful paradise. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations while commanding armies. Epictetus was a slave. Seneca faced exile and death. These weren't philosophers in ivory towers. These were men standing in the fire. And they discovered something that modern psychology is only now beginning to understand. The mind is both the wound and the weapon. Let me show you how deep this goes. Right now, your brain is running on autopilot. Neuroscience calls it the default mode network, the background noise of your consciousness. It's the voice that narrates your life, judges your worth, predicts your failure. And here's the dark truth: that voice is lying to you. The Stoics called this Fantasia, the impressions that flood your mind, not reality, not truth, just impressions, mental images, stories your brain tells itself. Think about the last time someone criticized you. What happened? The words entered your ears, just sound waves, just vibrations, but your mind transformed them into a weapon. It created a story. They think I'm worthless. They're right. I am worthless. But here's what Epictetus understood 2,000 years ago. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Not positive thinking, not denial. Something far more powerful, the space between stimulus and response. Viktor Frankl, a psychologist who survived Auschwitz, discovered the same truth in the darkest place imaginable. He watched men in concentration camps. Some collapsed into despair, others found meaning in the suffering. Same hell, different minds. He wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space, that's where Stoicism lives." Let me paint you a picture. You lose your job. The panic hits immediately. Bills, rent, failure. Your mind spirals. I'm not good enough. I'll never recover. My life is over. A Stoic mind asks a different question. What part of this is actually in my control? Not the layoff, not the economy, not what people think, but your response, that's yours. The Stoics had a practice called Premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Sounds dark, doesn't it? But here's the psychology. When you mentally rehearse the worst-case scenario, you strip it of its power to paralyze you. Seneca would imagine losing everything, his wealth, his status, his life. Not to be pessimistic, to be free. Because once you've faced the worst in your mind, reality loses its teeth. Modern psychology calls this exposure therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. The Stoics just called it wisdom. Or take this: someone betrays you, a friend, a partner, someone you trusted. Your mind wants revenge, justice, for them to hurt like you hurt. But Marcus Aurelius wrote something that cuts deeper than any revenge ever could. He wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury, not forgiveness for their sake, transformation for yours." Because holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Your rage doesn't hurt them. It corrodes you from the inside out. The Stoic doesn't suppress emotion. They transmute it. They take the fire of anger and forge it into discipline, into focus, into unshakable inner strength. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. You've been waiting for your life to fix itself, for the right opportunity, the right person, the right moment. But the Stoics understood something brutal. No one is coming to save you, not your parents, not your partner, not some future version of yourself who magically has it all figured out. There is only this moment, this breath, this choice. And the choice is simple, but not easy. Will you remain a victim of your circumstances, or will you become the author of your response? Epictetus was born a slave, literally owned by another human being. He had every reason to be bitter, broken, defeated. Instead, he became one of the most influential philosophers in history because he realized something profound. No man is free who is not master of himself. They could chain his body, but his mind, that was his fortress, untouchable, unconquerable. You have more freedom than Epictetus ever did, but you've imprisoned yourself with thoughts, beliefs, and stories that aren't even yours. Let me tell you the darkest truth of all. Your suffering, most of it is self-inflicted, not the events themselves. Those are often beyond your control, but the meaning you assign to them, that's all you. You lost someone you loved. That's pain, real, raw, unavoidable pain. But the story you tell yourself, I'll never be happy again. I'm cursed. Love always ends in loss. That's suffering, and suffering is optional. The Stoics distinguished between pain and suffering. Pain is the body's response to damage. Suffering is the mind's response to pain. You can't always avoid pain, but you can choose not to suffer. Here's how. Radical acceptance. Not resignation, not defeat. Acceptance of what is, so you can focus your energy on what can be changed. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire, yet he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the paradox. True power comes from accepting powerlessness over external things. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you unlock energy you didn't know you had. So what does this mean for your broken life? It means this. You are not broken. You are breaking open. Every crisis is a crucible. Every loss is a teacher. Every moment of suffering is an invitation to become someone stronger, wiser, more resilient. The Stoics practiced something called amor fati, love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing it, loving it, because it's yours. Your pain, it's shaping you. Your failures, they're forging you. Your darkest moments, they're revealing who you truly are beneath the masks you wear. Nietzsche, influenced heavily by Stoicism, wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Find your why, not in external validation, not in success or status, but in the process of becoming the person you're capable of being. Here's your practice starting today. Morning, ask yourself, what is within my control today? Focus only on that. Throughout the day, when something triggers you, pause. Find that space between stimulus and response. Choose your reaction consciously. Evening, reflect. What did you learn? What could you have done differently? Not to punish yourself, to grow. This is memento mori, remember you will die. Not morbid, liberating. Because when you remember your time is finite, you stop wasting it on things that don't matter. The Stoics didn't promise you an easy life. They promised you an unbreakable mind. Your life isn't broken. It's being rebuilt by you, one choice at a time. The storm will come again. It always does. But next time, you won't be swept away by it. You'll stand in the center of the chaos, calm, grounded, immovable. Not because nothing can hurt you, but because you've learned the most powerful truth of all. You are not what happens to you. You are what you choose to become in response to it. The question is, who will you choose to be? If this content is making sense to you, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support.